Can low carb diets, carnivore, keto, whatever, can they fix things like autoimmunity, thyroid, rheumatoid arthritis? Can you eat high protein? Should you take HRTs? Let's get into it. Well, guys, I'm trying to get some work done on my land, so it's going to be a little bit noisy. Bear with me. Welcome, everyone, to my crazy life, where you're going to hear a lot of tractor sounds in the background, so bear with me. All right, what the frack? I want to go over not just HRT and high protein, and I want to kind of go over some of the main things that people hear that, well, let's just say it's quite confusing. Now, lately, I have done some video reviews. Now, people send me these videos. I don't have time to look for them. People will send them to me and go, can you talk about this? Well, what about that? The last guy, he was using a continuous glucose meter. I know that. I know that he doesn't do ketogenic or carnivore diet, but he's still using the glucometer and testing how butter responds. He is sort of indirectly talking about low carb because he's saying that carbs have a high glycemic response. Protein has less, and fat, well, you're amazing. So that's pretty much describing a keto or carnivore diet, even though that's not what he does. The reason why I am reviewing his videos is because so many people are using CGMs right now, and they think they're accurate, and they're not. And so people are like, oh my God, my blood sugar is this, or my ketones are that. Well, it doesn't check the ketones, but people are freaking out over their blood sugar numbers, and they're using this CGM as a tool for everything, and it's just so inaccurate. That was the point of the video. I don't really care about the guy. That's why I don't mention who he is. He touched on some things, and I wanted to contextualize what macros have effect on different populations and why. So please stop writing, oh my God, he doesn't do keto or carnivore. I don't care. That's not the point of the video. Now, with that said, a lot of gurus are not pushing high fat. I've been pushing high fat from the very beginning. As soon as carnivore started trending, I started saying, it's just a keto diet, because you cannot drop your carbohydrates out without being in ketosis, because you're going to go into a lot of cortisol, a lot of physical stress, gluconeogenesis. You're starting to have issues because of your body breaking down of proteins to give yourself energy. It'll frack you up. So years ago, I started doing warning videos. Now, if you actually listen, some of the times where I don't give you the solution, it's just the opposite of what I'm saying. Like, eating high protein can spike your blood sugar. That means drop the protein. It's not very difficult. Now, there's more to this whole rant. Then we've got people saying, oh my God, she's so sarcastic. What you guys, a lot of people, they actually don't, they don't sort of like debate what I'm actually saying. They might debate how I'm saying it. But I'm not on the internet to pacify people. The right people will find you. There are people who are like, don't change who you are. Then there are the people that are like, oh my God, change who you are. So the ones who want me to change, I'm not your person. I'm not your girl. Just keep it rolling. I don't understand why people comment under videos of people they don't like. I mean, it's just, don't let me take up rent in your mind. Like, I'm irrelevant. But I am relevant to the people who want to hear what I have to say. So let's keep going. High protein. Now, the reason why I have silhouettes is because all these gurus are saying high protein diet to lose weight. What the frack? Eat a high protein diet to lose weight. How does that work? Oh, it's supposed to drop your insulin. And that's where some of these people get triggered, because you're like, you're so sarcastic. I know, I'm almost 60. That's what happens when you live a full life. You need to be really careful for the people trying to use high protein carnivore diets to drop weight based on this complete nonsense of dropping your insulin. That might happen at first for a few weeks because your body is used to carbohydrates. But once there's no ketotic or ketosis happening, The body's like, I'm sorry, I can't get energy from protein, so either you eat carbs again or let's try to drive ketosis. Then as time passes, you'll start to see that people have a rise in blood sugar. And then they'll have this insulin resistance effect because they start waking up in the middle of the night, and that is due to the dysglycemia people start to develop when they cut out their carbs. Now, a lot of gurus, they don't talk about this stuff, and I think they just don't know. Or they feel crap and they just ignore the symptomology, sort of like Paul Saladino did when he first put out a book on a carnivore diet, but was suffering. So I do these videos, and I'm the only one who does this, saying be careful, because we are living in a world today that is filled with a bunch of tomfoolery YouTube algorithm. And I get people who get injured and sick. So they come to me, and then I'm going to ignore it because people don't like my tonality. But at the same time, the most important heartbeats on this planet for me is not people getting twisted because they don't like my tonality. The most important thing is the 11 animals that I'm taking care of. I started with none. I got my first horse in my 50s, and I'm still in my 50s. People don't get horses this late in life, and not 9 of them and 2 dogs. No, while they live in a camper trying to get their house built, while taking care of their mother by themselves. Yeah, you're going to get a little fiery. You're going to get a little... I'm not here just driven by building my brand. I didn't start getting online to build my brand. I didn't have a brand. I went online to say, hey, you guys, the ketogenic diet might be able to stop cancer. That's why I started. Years later, I see there's so many benefits. Now let's get into the fibromyalgia. You could be eating carnivore meats that are suggested, like ground beef, and people say, like certain other gurus like Kim Berry will say, oh, well, the quality doesn't matter. But if you have a histamine response to the corn-fed or soy-fed beef like I do, you might have a reverse reaction. Like you might start feeling worse. Like you might have a drop of insulin in the beginning. Then your insulin starts spiking. Then you start feeling pain in your joints and in your body. And you don't understand because gurus are telling you that going carnivore is an all fix. But it's not. It is not. So what do? What's the solution? Well, get some grass-fed, right? Know where you're sourcing your meat. You don't have enough money? Then you got to save it. That's just the way it is. You got to go where you can source your meat, hopefully to a local farm. That's what I do. Now, I just can't risk it anymore. Like, we're living in a toxic soup. So people today are not living anymore. They're 6 feet under the ground. They've been exposed to a plethora of garbage and nonsense and a lot of tomfoolery and lies. We could go all the way up there, or we can go all the way to just gurus. When people are getting enough fame and popularity and build their brands, the quality control kind of goes down. But if your motivation isn't to build your brand on that monumental level, that is to get out the message, then you're going to be like me. My videos don't get a ton of views because people may not like my tonality, or people might not like the fact that I'm saying it's difficult. But for those who are listening to me, all right, let's keep going. My lovely, beautiful people, this is a quick insert. This is the evening now. My air conditioning is kicked on. What you were watching is from earlier today, and I just wanted to slide this in real quick before we go back to the original topic. A lot of people have a problem with, it looks like I'm being hypercritical, but I'm really concerned about the world today, and that people are walking around with poor water quality, air quality. We're constantly gaslit about everything. But the sad thing that I really want to put on blast is the fact that my videos get the most views when I comment on other gurus. When you do clickbait, YouTube won't even share your videos unless it's clickbait thumbnails. They won't. That's what people don't understand. They're like, oh my God, it's clickbait. When I didn't do clickbait, I hated the thumbnails and the text and all of this tomfoolery. I just love to just film a video, have it be raw. But the YouTube algorithm and people, not just YouTube, people won't watch your shite unless it's and that's what I find ironic. You get these Karens on the page that come in to watch that sensationalized thumbnail and title. Make it make sense. Look for people who are more grounded. Look for the content. Don't look just at the thumbnail. Follow the person and see if they have any validity to what they're presenting. If you're going to comment, bring something to the conversation. Just don't be like, you're wrong because I do perfectly fine. I'm happy for you, but you clicked on a video with the blah thumbnail and the blah title, and I wish people wouldn't just click on those videos. I wish they would click on just the, hey, my gallbladder's not working, or hey, I'm on HRTs and I'm going through it as a woman. People don't watch those videos. They watch the sensational videos. Make it make sense. Okay, now back to the original subject. Targeted, cyclic, ketogenic diets don't work because it takes so long to get into ketosis. The body really wants to digress back to carbs because that's the modern world that we live in. And all you need to do is fluck up one time and the body wants to go back to carbohydrates. So it becomes more difficult to make ketones. And it does matter. It does. And another thing is you cannot get into ketosis with just fatty meat because you have to eat gobs of meat to get to that fat. So you have to add rendered fat. And who's making that rendered fat? Is it grass-fed? Is it raw? Is it trimmings? What's the quality control on that fat? A lot of people are suffering from heavy metal toxicity, a parasite overload, or the eggs or the babies. They're suffering from too many plastics in the body, xenoestrogens, chronic fatigue, poor sleep. They're not connected to a circadian rhythm, and too much blue light exposure and too much stress. And if you have a leaking gut, then doing a carnivore diet or a keto diet is not going to fix you completely. You're going to plateau. My videos are designed to get you past the plateau. For example, HRTs. HRTs are being handed out by even naturopathic doctors, like they're Tic Tacs, like they're packs of chewing gum. And they're like, oh my God, it's heart safe and women have to do this because it'll protect you. What the frack are you talking about? Here's where that sarcasm comes in. We're grown-ups at this point. We don't need to be pacified with this fake, oh, it's fine, take your HRTs. You're a woman post-menopause, man, you're andropause, take this exogenous cream, rub, or pellet and frack up your hormones even more and put your liver under stress. Yeah. Develop the propensity for blood clots. Especially with certain populations in the last, 4 or 5 years. We've been on this planet for a very long time with without any of these potions, and they don't fix people. People say they do the carnivore diet. They're like, oh my God, I'm so amazing. And I'm like, let me see you. Let me talk to you. Everything is relative. If you do a low carb or no starch diet and you feel so much better, your fibromyalgia symptoms have gone down, but your energy is low, that's not a win. A win is energy and to have your chronic pain gone. Yeah. HRTs are a scam. You have to protect your skin. That's where you're going to convert the sex hormone is through the skin. Take care of your skin. Detoxify your liver. Take care of your skin. Get some sleep. Get vitamin D. Eat enough foods with collagen. And this is how real I am. My phone just rang. It's my new builder. He just gave me a quote, and he's being very fair, but I digress. Okay. Kind of excited. Gonna get this build done. Okay. The point that I'm trying to say is if I'm reviewing somebody who's telling you how the carnivore diet and how people quit because of XYZ, or if I'm reviewing some woman who's talking about HRTs and how important they are, and people don't understand that they have to protect their skin, they have to protect their adrenals, they have to get the heavy metals out of them, they have to exercise and breathe right and become oxygenated and get their lymphatic system going. That's what you need, and it takes work and discipline, because these elixirs, they're not going to fix you. They're not. They're really, really, really not going to fix you. And that's the reason why I do these. They're not call-out videos, because I really don't like talking about people's names. I really like going more into what they're saying. Now, big gurus like Maria Emmerich, like I said, she as a person seems lovely. But if you're going to be selling products and selling coaching, and your health is crumbling, and you're not eating food, and you're having an eating disorder, and people can see it, then it's getting women confused, because they'll eat this food and they're not losing weight at all. In fact, they start gaining weight. They might have a physiological insulin resistance rebound effect because the protein's too high, and they weren't minding their sleep or trying to do any type of detoxification, or they already have an existing thyroid problem or blood sugar issue, and then they do carnivore and their blood sugar tanks even more. That's why I do these videos. I don't do them to be a dick. I do them because that's what I would want when I was struggling, and when my mom was going through cancer. I would love if somebody like Wendy Williams says, and she's like, she gives it to you real. That's what I would want. I wouldn't want anyone to sugarcoat anything, especially when you're dealing with severe health issues. And so I project exactly what I would love to hear. And that is the message. The right people will hear my message. The people that are not the right people, I'm not your girl, and I'm okay with that. But I will say this to those who constantly are telling me how to speak and act: I'll never change for you. We've always done that in the past. We change and alter who I am for people that we don't even respect. Then you lose yourself. It's not easy to be online, but don't let anybody change who you are. The right people will align, and the people who are not right in your reality will keep moving. And that's another thing about deleting comments. Oh, fuck yeah! Here's the thing about deleting comments. I should do a whole video on this. I don't delete comments all the time, and I don't actually mind the comment, but you can hear that that person is never going to be wrong. Like, you never ever going to change their mind. He'll start off really polite. No, but I'm just trying to and they're just, it's a waste of time. That's why I don't argue with Bart K. What's the point? There's sides of him I still respect, but this triggered side, like, I take up too much rent in his mind. Like, there are more things that are important. My mother's health. I don't care about debating people. For what? If I debate them, I'm going to go hard. And then they're going to scream and freak out, and then it's bad for both parties. No, I'm good. I'm good. For somebody to sit and try to roast me in videos, like, we're not going to get anywhere with that. So, yeah. If I'm not your girl, I keep it rolling. Comment below. Share this content. Yes, I do consultations, and for those who align with what I'm saying, I got your back. I've been doing this a long time, and I've learned a lot from you guys. Also, I run a course where I cover all 3 diets, because not everybody can do low carb, or some people cannot even eat carbs because the histamine is so freaking horrible. Comment below, share this content. You can go to stephanieperson.com for the course or for a consultation. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic, and I'm out of here because I got shite to do. I got 11 animals, and I started with none. And I live in a camper, and I moved to raw land with nothing on it. And I'm out.